show respect, step back, no need for space invasion. Stop saying your room number at the day's end, let the girl dance. That's really all she came for. $1 million dress probably came from the thrift store. Even though she seems to be exactly what you wish for, she's never coming in on your transistor. Don't matter if you're rich or piss poor, she's out of your league and in a different sport. The answer is no, you ain't got a chance. She's out of your league, just let the girl dance. No creeping allowed though, you just get a glance. Don't try to swing game, yo, just let the girl dance. The answer is no, you ain't got a chance. She's out of your league, just let the girl dance. You can watch her soul flow from a distance, but give her some space on, let the girl dance.
Hey everybody, I'm Randy Silvis.
And I'm Tony Mollick.
Welcome back to Slotrods. On this episode, we're getting ready for those Outlaws to come to town. In the spring of 2022, we're going to have a very special Street Outlaws themed race featuring 10 1/24th scale replicas of the iconic Street Outlaws cars. First, we will have 5 OG style cars from the OKC.
57, the Dominator, Sinister Camaro, the Murder Nova, and of course, it wouldn't be right if we didn't have the Crow.
And this year, they're going to bring some backup from Memphis. We got Old Heavy, the Tomcat, the Hummingbird,
and of course, the Queen of the Streets in her 65 Malibu.
And by race day, we hope to have Zip Tie. Tony, would you like to add anything about these builds?
Well, if I was going to build replicas of the Street Outlaws, I had to make them as fast as I could just out of simple respect. And that's exactly what I did. I secretly tested and raced these cars, and they're as fast as I know how to make them.
And to race these 10 monsters, we're going to need the fastest cars the 724 has to offer. And since some of our fastest cars weren't even at our last top 10 list race, we put the call out for a special race to figure out what 10 cars deserve the honor of taking on the Street Outlaws.
And the cars racing for that honor will be the king of the tournament trophy holder, Beelzebug, the 2021-22 Halloween shootout champ, Valentine, the 420 Laurel Hannah Gorge jump champ, the Lambo,
former number 1 car, the Batmobile, another former number 1 car, Slick Trick, and our third former number 1 car, the Cannonball.
Also, we have Hemi Thunder,
Keith Bean in the Plymouth called the GETX.
We got my little black Ford called the 52.
We got Drew Hall in the tow truck, the Wrecker.
And Drew's other car, the Magic 8-Ball.
And from the Clark Racing team, the one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater.
Also from the Clark Racing team, Damien.
And apparently, since they're pulling all the cars out of their stable today, we're going to have the Triton and the Fuzz.
We got my shiny green Mercury called Mean Streak.
And you got my beautiful black Ford GT called the Antidote.
We have that concept car, the Dodge Deora, being driven by Michael Mack.
We got, what the hell is that thing?
I don't know, but it's Drew Hall's latest car.
The Exterminator.
We got a few more rookie cars, starting off with Prince.
Here's a new one from Tim Clark called the Joker.
And last but not least from the Clark Racing team, the Undead.
First of all, we took our fastest cars and held them back for the first round.
We don't need a car like, say, the Cannonball that we know is going to go, and having it beat a car that's slower than it is, but it's still faster than a lot of the other cars, and we would want it to be in one of those spots.
Hey man, why's the Batmobile in with the first round cars?
Well, if you remember, I had to pull the Batmobile out of our top 10 list because I needed to do a full overhaul, and I have no idea how it's going to run.
Well, guess we're not going to have to wait long. Race number 1 is the Batmobile versus the Triton.
Not too shabby for a maiden voyage, eh?
Yeah, you put a half a car on that 32, and that makes the Batmobile our winner.
Race number 2 will be the Exterminator versus the GETX.
I'm just loving that new angle on camera 1.
We needed to have it to catch people when they jump the light.
Yeah, it looks to me like GETX just X'd the Exterminator out of the competition. Race number 3 is the Wrecker versus the Undead.
The Undead had no problem covering that tow truck.
And our winner is that 61 Falcon Ranchero called the Undead.
Next up, it's me and Randy with a little Ford-on-Ford crime. The 52 versus the Antidote. Yeah, the 52 don't usually get gapped like that. And the winner is Randy in the Antidote.
I think you might need to get a little gap insurance on that shoebox Ford.
What do you want? I'm racing a Ford GT supercar.
Nah, you was sleeping.
Alright, that's enough out of you. On to race 5, we have the Purple People Eater versus the Magic 8 Ball.
Cool, buddy, it didn't take long for that new angle to pay its dividends. There's a double jump for you, clear as day.
And since we didn't call chases a race in the beginning, it's first is worst. And that makes the Purple People Eater the winner by default.
Yeah, tell them how you made them both jump.
That flashlight doesn't engage until you take your thumb off the button, and I realized people were going on the click instead of waiting for the light.
Yeah, that's being sneaky. It keeps them honest, but sneaky.
Thank you, sir. On to race 6. We have Hemi Thunder trying to outrun the Fuzz.
Oh, Fuzz got the jump.
That was a drag race. And Hemi Thunder clipped him right before the finish line.
And that makes Hemi Thunder our winner.
Race 7 is Mean Street versus the first timer, the Deora.
Ooh, that don't sound good.
And it looks even worse.
Fortunately, Deora didn't cross the center and survived the crash. She'll be back later next round. Our winner is Deora.
Race number 8 is a couple of rookie cars. The Joker versus the 1959 Stingray called Prince.
Why Prince?
Because it's my little red Corvette.
Oh, they both left together. But that 59 Stingray gapped the Joker the last 100 feet.
Alright, now if we take our round 1 winners and put them in with the cars we held back, you get a pack of cars that looks like this.
And after picking cards, the races split them up like this. And the losers go to the bottom of the list, and we'll stack the losers until we get to number 1.
And it goes something like this. Race number 1, Cannonball versus Slick Trick. And camera 1 gets another jump on video.
And that moves Cannonball to number 14.
Up next we have New School versus Old School Cool. The Antidote versus Valentine. Oh, looks like somebody was sleeping.
Yeah. Looks like I'm the one that needed that gap insurance.
And Antidote goes to number 13.
And now, we got the Batmobile versus GETX. Yeah, looks like the Batmobile's back, baby.
And the GETX takes a ride to number 12. Next up is the Pinto called Damien versus Randy in the Lambo.
Pinto got the jump on me at the line.
But the Lambo did what the Lambo does and came around him on the big end. And Damien went to number 11.
Next at the starting line, the Undead versus the Dodge Deora. Now hold on to your girdle, Myrtle. This may get a little weird.
You know, the Deora made a pretty good run there. Not bad for a car that just did 3 endovers and a roll.
And then fell into a gorge.
And that moves the Undead to number 10.
Moving right along, we have the Purple People Eater versus Prince. Man, that Stingray's deadlier than the one that got Steve Irwin. What? Too soon? Our last race of this round is Beelzebug versus Hemi Thunder.
And to no one's surprise, Beelzebug takes the win and Hemi Thunder goes to number 8.
Alright, boys and girls, it's nut cutting time. Slick Trick versus Valentine, Deora versus the Batmobile, the Lambo versus Beelzebug, and the lucky rookie draws the bye. Looks like it's you against your old lady. How you think this is gonna go down?
But same as usual, I lost.
Slick Trick goes to number 7.
Next up, I'm running the Batmobile against Michael Mack and the Deora.
Looks like the Deora had a little trouble along the way, and I guess that moves him to number 6.
Next up, Kelly and Beelzebug versus Randy and the Lambo. Well, brother, how do you think this is going to go down? Beelzebug by...
Just about the same as usual. I lost.
Ain't so bad. You made it into the top 5.
And here we go again. You against your old lady. How you think it's gonna go down this time?
A little better than usual.
Yep. Maybe you ought to sign her up for some of that Gap insurance. That's okay, Kel. There's no shame in your game. And Valentine goes to number 4. And here we go again. You two racing one another. Well, how do you think it's going to go down this time?
And myself, like everybody else there, I thought I jumped. But you can see here, I just got lucky. The light comes on, then I move.
Looks like that race was won and lost at the line. And that brings us down to the last race of this round. And this race of vet-on-vet crime has Tony driving one and Tim Clark driving the other. Oh, now that was a drag race. Brother, it couldn't get any better.
I must be getting a little faster on the trigger. Me and Tim left at exactly the same moment.
Prince came around on the big end and clipped the Batmobile at the finish line.
And that brought us down to these 14 cars, and this was the order.
And that's when we started the call-outs.
The Cannonball called out the Antidote and won.
Then GETX called out Damien and won, which put GETX at number 11, just outside of the top 10.
Purple People Leader called out Hemi Thunder and won, which moved him to number 8.
Then I called out Valentine and somehow pulled out a win, and I went to number 4.
Yep, and before the end of the day, Valentine got in another call out and regained her number 4 spot.
Hey, that's okay. I'm still within the top 5.
Over the course of several call-outs, Deora and Purple People Eater traded spots, while Slick Trick somehow maintained his number 7 spot.
At which point, the top end of the list stopped calling one another out, and we let the bottom 5 duke it out to see who was going to move forward.
And that gave us this order.
And from this list, we have our top 10 fastest cars in the 724 today.
And as soon as we got this far, those numbers became meaningless because this became the team representing the 724 in our race with the 405 and the Memphis Street Outlaws coming later this spring.
So what are we going to do till then?
Oh, we have plenty to keep us busy. First, we're going to have our first ever truck night. Everyone's bringing out their trucks and coming in special just to join us all the way from Memphis. Old Heavy will be making an appearance to compete.
And don't we need to get in a regular list race? We haven't had one of those in a while, and the last time I checked, Pineapple Express was at the top of that list. And there was a vacancy at number 10, I believe.
But before we go, we want to announce the winner of the Chop Top 33 Ford Body, and it is Carlos Cruz of Moonachie, New Jersey. Congrats, Carlos, and I've already spoken to him, and he's having me build him a slot rod. He's about 5 hours away, but he gets to Pittsburgh quite a bit, and we look forward to seeing him race.
So, until next time, I'm Randy Silvas,
And I'm Tony Mollick.
and you've been watching
Slot Rods.
We miss you, Lewis. Get your ass back here with that truck.